Hello, hello, hello. Once again, second time this week. It is your boys, the DM podcast, giving you that flavor in your ear. In this podcast, simple. We're going to number one, the number one best NBA player this season, where I'm also going to ask a question. Are they a superstar? What is a superstar? Is a superstar to you? Whatever. And what are we most excited about this upcoming NBA season? But before I continue, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. How is my boy YS doing today?
You already know, every day above ground.
Of course. No, we're here. We're the season's upon us, or season's getting close, and we had to talk about the NBA teams. We did the first 50. Now it's about the next, or we did the first 25. Now it's about the next 25. Now, before we get there, I want to talk about some of the things that we are most excited about this upcoming NBA season. Did you want to go first? You want me to go first?
You lead off with this.
So I mentioned it before, and I'll mention it again. Um, Lonzo Ball and the Chicago Bulls. Not really Chicago Bulls. I don't. They're not gonna be a good team. But I think I'm more like the man. Anybody who's been injured and out for 2 years, I just want to hope that you're gonna come back and be close to the player that you were before. Hopefully, we can see some things that was the player that we saw before. Um, Defensively, he may not be that great because being good defensively is hard, the footing and all that stuff. But I think it's one of the things I'm more excited to see. I'm glad to hear that he's healthy. He's doing 5-on-5s. I do probably come off the bench. But if he can get like 10, 15 minutes, I would love to see it. Just to see the man back on the court. It'd be nice to see. So that's something that I'm definitely looking forward to this upcoming season.
Well, with me, it's going back to what I was saying with the Charlotte Hornets. You know what I mean? LaMelo, his bro.
The
Yeah,
Ball brothers.
ironic, right?
Damn.
Looking forward to him having a healthy season with this Hornets squad. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And to piggyback on, what you're saying, I'm looking forward to DeRozan
In
playing with the
Sacramento.
Kings. Yeah, in Sacramento. I'm looking forward to see how he's going to adjust and where they're going to be and how they're going to finish and whatnot. Excuse me.
I yeah, I'm really excited for that
Just
team.
chill, right? Reach out to you.
Like they already score so much, and you brought in another just scoring threat. I think they're gonna be a. I'm a regular season's kind of weird, but I could see them winning regular season games
They will. They
for
will.
sure, for sure. I could definitely see regular season games. Um, so another thing that I would say I'm excited about this upcoming season is last season, the beginning of the season wasn't good offense. Oh, offense was good, but it was so like no defense. Then the second half got a lot better. Games were closer. So I want to see that again. I can't wait to see them play. I heard there was a report that they're gonna go back to kind of the back in the day and then play more like the way we saw in the European games, where it benefited the defensive player. So, and I want to see that. I want to see games. I was about to like message you one of the days. Do you see a difference when a game is 120 to 120 to when a game is 98-98? Do you see a difference?
I do.
You feel like you're watching a difference?
More physical, more defensive in the 98-90.
This is true.
You
It
know
is
what I
definitely
mean?
more physical. But like, does the entertainment factor change that much for you?
Honestly, not really. I just don't like. I get people want to see scoring, and when you watch some older games, you see more physical. And the thing is, when I watch older games, what I don't like about it is their spacing. They
Mhm.
don't have good spacing. What I really noticed, like everyone's
Yeah.
kind of crowded together. It's a little like short pass here and there at times, right?
Yeah.
Spacing is not there. And today's modern game is better spacing and right. So like it's just the spacing thing, right? And physicality. Those are really the only differences, right? Other than that, everything is the same game. They were doing the same stuff. Dominic Wilkins did a first Euro step and got called for a travel in
Right.
like '84, right?
Right.
Like there's been guys like Chris Jackson, Ralph Abdul that's been like a little Curry before Curry, even
Right.
before Dell. You know
Right.
what I mean? So Isaiah Thomas been throwing bounce pass lobs in games. So guys,
Magic Johnson.
yeah, just be So guys been doing certain things, just the physicality, the defense, right? What refs are willing to call,
Right.
right? And yeah,
No, I agree. I think
pacing.
the pacing is the what, like, just no one played defense because the pacing, we're trying to outscore, and there will be teams like that. Like, like we said in last episode, teams like the Wizards are gonna not have a lot of defense. But I think when you can muck it up, the better it will be. Uh, so I think we all just want to see that. I think we all just want to see the game become the game that we liked watching. You said it perfectly. This spacing is kind of what changed everything. When
Yeah,
everyone can play like five out, then everyone can shoot. But I'm not sure if this report's correct, but I think it is correct. They did a focus group where they asked people, would you rather more scoring or more defense? And like, what would you rather see? Of course, people said more scoring.
scoring. I'd rather both, like a level, but I understand.
It's about the excitement
Kind
of
of
the game. You want the
maximize.
game to be as exciting as possible. So,
I want both. I want both.
right, right. I want
I want
competitiveness.
both.
I want some like I definitely want chippiness. Like speaking of chippiness, I was watching a WNBA game. Holy moly. The chippiness in the playoffs in the WNBA is at another level. First of all, WNBA playoffs is like it's excellent because everyone's like just so angry at each other. Everyone hates each other. No one's shaking hands. It's just like, and mind you, WNBA, they used to, even after the first game in the playoffs, they used to shake hands after. I thought that was like crazy. I'm like, why do you guys do that? There's
Yeah.
no sportsmanship in the playoffs unless someone finishes you off. Then you can shake hands and be like, you beat me here, or I won. Shake. That's it.
Series, yeah, yeah. But after each game was like, nah,
No way, man. I hate you, man. The way these ladies were hating on each other, it was amazing to see. Like I
it's
love it.
just it's
I
crazy.
want. That's the type of ball I think me and you grew up on. I think that's the type of ball that me and you will always prefer. Right. So that's something that I'm looking forward to. Now, I want to tell you something I'm not looking forward to. Uh, is well, no, I have one more that I'm looking forward to. I'll say I like the fact that we how much bad teams do we really have? Like actually bad teams.
Like six, eight, 6 or 8 out of the
We
30.
have we have like actually eight bad teams that are going to be like trash.
I'll say six. I'll say six. Like
Six. Let's look, man. Like teams are just going to be bad. So I know because I was thinking we have four, but let me look at the standings again. Okay. So in the East, so Boston, no, Atlanta. Okay, Chicago will be bad. That's one. Well, they may be feisty though. Funny enough, because Kobe White and
yeah, they'll
Zach
be first. I
Levine,
think it'll be bad. I don't know.
they'll,
I
they'll
think
be bad though. Cleveland won't be bad. Detroit, would you say bad?
they're gonna be bad still.
Detroit will be bad. Miami will be good. Milwaukee, Brooklyn, we can both agree they'll be bad. They'll be bad. New York is good. Orlando's good. Philly's good. Washington will be bad. Will Toronto be bad? Like we know they're not going to win a lot of games, but like they're
They're
going to
not
be
gonna be
bad.
bad, but they're not gonna be good. They're gonna be just
Mid,
a
right?
little less mediocre.
Okay, so we'll say Charlotte and Toronto will be mid, like
Yeah.
mid, gearing to bad, but more mid. They're going to compete. They'll compete. So in the Western Conference, Utah's going to compete. They'll be bad, but they're going to compete. That's what I should have said. They're going to be bad or they're going to compete.
Utah's gonna be they're gonna compete, but in the West is like Portland.
West, definitely Portland is five. And then I'll say, holy moly, not Denver, not Lakers. Clippers are going to compete. I will give them. They're going to compete. No matter what, they're going to compete. San Antonio, we both believe they're going to compete.
Yeah.
Phoenix will, Houston will. Wow, they really just got Portland in the West.
It's really that, huh?
Like Utah's going to compete, but they're going to be bad
Yeah,
eventually.
they're gonna
Because
compete. Yeah, yeah.
so we'll include them. So five or six teams that are going to be bad, right? They won't compete, especially that second half. They probably won't compete. They're probably going to be bad. And I think we may have.
Portland's the worst team in the league.
I think we said Atlanta's going to be bad, right? Did we say that?
We didn't say that, but I don't know. Maybe they could compete. I don't
They're going to
know.
compete, right? That's what I'm saying. This like I like the fact that we have a bunch of teams competing. Like,
I love it.
of course, there are going to be teams that are going to beat them. The OKC is gonna win games. Boston's definitely gonna win games. We know the team's Philly, but at least when if it's Philly versus the the freaking even the Detroit Pistons, we know Detroit's gonna compete against them,
Of
right?
course, this Detroit, yes.
In the West, every game is a competition. Yeah, Utah is one of the worst teams, but Utah's bad. But you're not gonna say, "Oh yeah, Utah's gonna get destroyed by Golden State." That's not gonna happen.
It's not now. This was like 2010 years ago. Yeah.
So I would say this is Utah's starting lineup: Cavante George, Colin Sexton, Laurie Markkinen, Taylor Hendricks, John Collins, which is not bad. You still got the rookie Cody Williams is coming. You have Jordan Clarkson. You have Patty Mills. You have another rookie, Isaiah Caller. They have a lot of they have Kyle Filipowski, and they have a lot of rookies on this team. A lot of rookies on this team. So it's gonna be bigger guys who are competing, right? So I think this year makes me like that. And you never know with injuries. You had the Indiana going into the Eastern Conference Finals. Heck, you still had Dallas and Minnesota go
Cases.
there. OKC, who knows about OKC and stuff? There's a lot of teams, man. That's what I like about this season. It's gonna be a lot of teams. Is there anything that you're anticipating for this season that you're gonna like or any player?
I'm just happy that ball's coming back and I get to watch ball again and Raptors is gonna be playing again. Like I'm just overall excited about that in general. You know what I mean? So that's where my head is at with the season still.
Me too. I can't wait for ball to start. I definitely can't wait for ball. Preseason's preseason, but I want to see
I'm freeze.
like
Freeze.
I want to see that the guys get into it. I think the one thing that I'm not looking forward to, well, like we said, if it's just offensive oriented, I'm not gonna like that. I'm not gonna like just offense. I want to see some defense being played. I don't want to see any of that shit. One thing none of us want to see is no, oh, my player needs to sit out. Da 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 da. I want Mans to play.
100%.
I want
100%.
Mans to play. None of this sitting out stuff. I know they're already talking about certain guys like what's his name, Kawhi, man's like that. No, I don't. I want to see everyone play. I want to see competition, man. I really do. I want to see the
That's the
competition.
usual Kawhi sitting out. That's the usual. That's expected.
That's why the Clippers won't be good. That's why when I haven't made my standings for the Western Conference, I may be very disrespectful to them because I just don't believe in them. So
I agree. I
I
agree.
definitely just don't believe in them. But I think it's time. You know, we had our pod last couple days, and then we talked about this 25-1. We talked about 25-1. Is your 25-1 all set up? You're ready for that?
Got it locked and loaded.
Okay, let me pull up mine. I have a few notes.
I'll start with my first five from you know
Mhm. Who's your 26? Just so people can kind of know.
26 was Paulo Banchero, right? Now 25, right now, going to season 20, De'Aaron Fox, 25th. 24, Bam Adebayo. 23rd, Damian. Hold on, no. This is a switch. This is a switch. My bad. No. 23rd, Donovan Mitchell.
Mm.
Yes.
I have him way
20.
higher. I've Donovan Mitchell way higher.
Okay. 22nd, right? Zion Williamson, right? 21, Victor Wembanyama, right?
Okay.
I guess you like it at that spot. And 20,
No, don't tell me 20. Let me go. Let me go
okay.
20. Yeah, 25, 20. So my 26 was Paul George. My 25th, which I feel I'm starting to maybe a little disrespect. Mind you, I wasn't a big fan of him, but I'm turning around. I'll tell you for this guy I'm about to mention 25th, I'm turning around on him. And that's Kyrie Irving.
Okay.
I'm definitely turning around on him. I'm starting to see like more of his value as a player.
Okay.
So my 24, which I believe is your 25th, was De'Aaron Fox.
Good pick. Good pick.
My 23rd is Sabonis
Okay.
because I
Okay.
do believe, even though those are interchangeable, my 22nd is Victor Wembanyama, which I
Okay.
want to talk about after before you even get to your thing. I want to talk about Victor real quick. And 22nd is Victor, and 21st is Cat.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Now, I want to ask you before I get to my Victor and our Victor talk. Why is Donovan Mitchell as low as that? Mind you, a lot of these guys are in the same tier. It's just the way
Yeah.
the rankings roll. But why was Donovan Mitchell there for you?
Well, Don Mitchell's there because he can't really lead a team to like past the second round.
Mhm.
Like Don Mitchell's never been past the second round. He's a great in regular season. He does good in the playoffs, but he's just wins regular season games. It's just no real level to him yet, right?
Right.
So that's why I have him there. I wanted him to be low, higher on the list, but I look at guys that are on the list that are higher. They actually did stuff and they went further. You know what I mean? So that's just really it. Still,
No, I get that. I think since I really like Donovan Mitchell. He's like one of my more favorite players because he also reminds me of my like favorite player in Dwayne Wade, one of my favorite players. So that's why I think I mess with him so much. Um, Kind of going like I was saying about Kyrie. Like Kyrie is a player that we all know how talented he is. One of the best like ball handlers we have in the league, and more I'm like, man, he's really talented.
yeah.
He's really talented. I think people just have a thought process about him personally that like hurts his rating. But
You
he's
don't
mad
get
talented.
good dribbling, but not loving the game.
Right. Right. That's true. That's true. Victor. We both had Victor basically like darn near our top 20. Like
Yeah,
very close.
yeah, yeah.
I'll say for me, the reason why I didn't make Victor no top 20 player, mind you, I've seen lists that Victor's like top 15, top 10. I think it's too soon. I do
Yeah.
think Victor has the ability and talent to become. I want to argue with myself right now and say Victor shouldn't even be this high right now. He shouldn't. I want
Well,
to argue it.
to me, he should, but for you, he shouldn't. But to me, right now, he should. He changed the Spurs team.
He
He did.
did. Like everything you're saying is correct. When he's on the court, their defense was top 10. When they're
Yeah.
off the court, they're a bottom five. Like that's a game changer. That's a game changer. He settles defense, and anyone who can ever argue, oh, because like he's big, that's why he plays good defense. No, look at JV. JV doesn't play good. Vucevic. These guys are centers. They don't play good defense. A
Yeah.
center playing good defense means a lot. And he does. And like I said, the reason why, and you've known me for years, I just hate crowning guys. Like I hate it. I hate giving a man the award when I feel like let him earn it a little bit. Let him fight for it a little bit. You're right. Talent wise, Victor is top 20 talent. He is. But I just think like, okay, are we crowning this guy? Like, is he better than Sabonis? No, he's not better than Sabonis. But will he be better than Sabonis? Yes.
Not
By the end
right
of the
now. No.
season, by the end of the season, will he be better than these guys? Yeah, he will be. He will
We'll
be.
we'll see. You know, we'll see.
Right? Well, it's true. Well, I think if he doesn't end up being better, mind you, he's still gonna only be 21. He's still young and a big guy. It's gonna take him time, right? But having that veteran leadership with Chris Paul, he gained like 10, 15 pounds. He will be good.
In 10,
I just
15,
keep
okay,
trying.
it's
He
gonna
gained
be hard
like
to see on 7-6.
yeah,
But
definitely hard to see that. And I don't know I think the ideal size he's gonna be eventually is probably KP, right?
that's good though.
Yeah, KP is good. KP is he's not
That's a
he's
good
skinny
size though.
but a
He's
good
still
size.
slender, but he's still got strength. Well, KP gets injured, but just without injuries.
Right, right. And that's all we're hoping for is that Victor, because with that height, man, the injuries sometimes,
Hit.
yeah, I sometimes be creeping, man. So I hope we don't have to see that with Victor. I'm hoping we don't have to see that. Okay, what is your 20 to 16?
20, 20th person was Damian Lillard of the Milwaukee Bucks. You see what I'm saying? 19 now. 19. Shout out to my boy in Pacerland, Holly, Tyrese Halliburton. See what I'm saying? We're still in the East, but we're going down to the Mecca. You see what I'm saying? We're going with the Nick guard, a lefty, Brunson at 19, 18.
Mhm.
17 is D Book. D Book. I repeat, D Book. Okay. 16. You call him already. He loves the game. His shoes for Anta, Speed Flame, Twin Flame 2s dropped, sold out quick. And Antas never sell out like that in Foot Locker.
Yeah.
Kyrie Irving.
That was your 16, Kyrie?
Yep, 16 is Kyrie. 15?
No, no. We'll
Oh,
just go, yeah, 20 to 16, and then we'll move 15 to 11. Okay, so mine is 20 is Bam.
okay, good pick.
19, just like yours, Halliburton.
Great pick.
18 is Jimmy Butler.
Oh, it's around the same area, around the same shit. Okay.
17 is Kawhi, which
Okay.
we'll talk about Kawhi after. And my 16 was the man who plays in the Mecca, Jalen Brunson.
Good picks. Kind of similar.
Very similar, very
Similar.
similar. Which you would almost expect it to be because like the top guys are the top guys. Like there was a good season or two, like the top 10 guys were like top 10 guys, weren't changing those top 10 guys. Two guys I want to talk about in like this list. Do you have Kawhi on your list?
On my list of 25, I do. Yes.
Okay, so well, we can mention Kawhi now. Kawhi, and I'm just like arguing to argue purposes. So you just say I'm crazy or not. Kawhi is in our top, in most people's top 20
Definitely.
because of 2019.
And 26, 2016, 15.
No, yeah. So 2019 and before. But if you think about it, Kawhi's had a really good one of the playoff series. He was really good. And when Kawhi is really good, he's really good. We all know that. Kawhi when he
When he's
won.
playing, he's good.
Thank you. So in my mind, when he's playing, so why do we have Kawhi so high? When are we just thinking about the 2019 season? Because why do we have him so high? What has he done to deserve that?
I'm gonna say when he's playing in general, whether he plays 30 games, 60 games, 15 games, when he's playing, he's a problem when he's playing. So I'm looking at on my list where I put him on my list is whenever he's playing, however much times he plays that season, he's very effective. I want that man on the team playing. As a GM, I'm thinking different. Like sign this guy to 4 years. There's 82 games in the season. That's how much games? 320 games, more or less, in 4 seasons, right?
Right.
He's playing maybe 140.
Right. I'm gonna search see how many games he's played.
So
I think like you said with Kawhi, because you're right. But then like I said, I'm just arguing this, right? I'm just arguing about this Kawhi guy. It's kind of like if a man only plays 30 games, how do we name this guy a top player? He's like the healthiest guy on the court every single time. Because if you're playing a back to back and you face Kawhi, Kawhi's gonna do his thing on him. If you're playing three games in 5 nights and Kawhi's just coming back playing like, of course he's gonna be better. I almost feel like his stats are like borderline cheating. Like what makes him so I don't know. I feel like his stats are like I said, his stats are like borderline cheating. So Kawhi plays so he plays 72, 74 in 2016, 2017 played
20,
74. 2017, 17, 18 played 9. 18 and 19, which is the championship year, he plays 60 games with us. Then he plays 57, 52,
okay.
injured, so the whole season he didn't play. Then he plays 52, then he plays 68. I get it. Zion played 70, Kawhi played 68, so I guess he's played a lot of games, but he played more than the required 65 amount to make all NBA. When he's playing, he's a guy. I know
He
he's a
is
guy.
a guy when he's playing. You already know. Yeah.
It just feels like a little something about it is funny. Another guy I want to talk about was Jalen Brunson. We both mentioned him. I almost just want to say like this guy both made our top 20 players in the NBA. This guy was a backup point guard to Luca
2 years ago, right? Was this 2 years ago, we're gonna
2 years
say?
ago. So he was probably like so I always think to myself, how much top 20 guys do we have in the league that are just in the fucking bench right now? Makes you think, right? Because he's
Mobile,
not a splashy player. He's just
mobile. I'm
no,
joking. I'm joking.
that guy is. even though I do kind of agree with Shaq that Bol and Victor are very similar, just Bol is lazier. He's just
Yeah,
lazier.
almost lazy. Yeah, yeah.
He's definitely just lazier. But yeah, I just want to say shout out to Brunson. That's all I want to say. Shout out to him. To a man who probably was like a top 75, 80 player, maybe when he was the backup. Now to be a top 20 player, that says a lot. And like,
Big time, big time.
and
Leading the
he's
opportunity has a lot to do with it. Opportunity and confidence.
when you get the ball, make sure you use it. Make sure you're like, hey, okay, well, Randall is hurt a little bit. I'll do my thing. Because it was Randall's team, high key. He was going into Randall's team. New York
Yeah, it
was
was like,
Randall's
okay,
team,
he's Randall's running mate.
right?
That's
And
what
now
we
they're
need.
building a team around you.
We got Brunson.
They built a team around him still. So okay, that was the 16. So now who's your 15 to 11?
15 to 11. This is where it gets real nice, hot. Speaking of heat, let's travel down to Miami. 15, Jimmy Butler,
Give me
aka Jimmy Bucket.
buckets.
Number 14, he's a part of the most overrated squad in the NBA right now with the most pressure. Philadelphia 76ers, Paul George, right? 13, he won a ring last year and no one gives a fuck about. And he's dark skinned like my host over here, Jaylen Brown,
My dark skinned brother.
right? Number 12, we spoke about him and his availability. He had New Balances coming out when he was with the Raptors. Now no one gives a fuck about his New Balances in LA. He should have stayed in Toronto. Kawhi Leonard.
I think you're saying
Number 11, he spawned his own creative player. He's having game film day at home with his son. LeBron James is number 11.
you put LeBron number 11?
Yes. He's
Okay.
still he's still a face of the league. He's still 22 seasons. Like he's still like when you talk about in other podcasts, grandparents,
Yeah,
mothers, who they know, they're knowing these three guys in the NBA. They're knowing Giannis, they're knowing LeBron, and they're knowing Curry. They're knowing those three guys.
I think you know KD too.
As
I thought, yeah,
KD four. They're knowing those four guys. But for damn sure, they're knowing LeBron and they're knowing Curry. They'll
for
like
sure.
that's LeBron, that's Curry. They're knowing those two for damn
Those
sure
two for sure.
the most. So he's 11 because of all of that, and because he's still 25, 5-5 average. You're 40. Your son's playing with you.
Yeah.
You're honestly you're a goat. You're a goat. Like you're a goat. Like,
My 15 to 11 is number 15 is Devin Booker,
okay. That's it.
which is funny because I've never been the biggest Devin Booker guy, but I have respected his last few seasons. I think
Definitely.
he's been a lot better last few seasons.
Definitely.
Number 14, Donovan Mitchell. Because, like you had stated before, when it comes regular season, the man will win games. He just
He's a
does.
guy.
He
Yeah.
wins games in regular season. Number 13, AD, a guy who I like. I think AD is good, man, but I really think he's like a second, third option type of guy. The more I think
That's
about
the
it,
third. Third, I think you're hating, but that's the AD
no
hate.
hate. No. I when I say he's a third, if the two other guys are like guards and they do so much, I think AD being your third would be like spectacular type of thing. Like it's such a because I want AD to focus on defense. That's why I say third. Like if you're saying he has Anthony Edwards and like give me like a point guard who can give me four like a Darius Garland. You know what I'm saying? If you had a Darius Garland and Anthony Edwards and then he was like the third, I'd be like, yeah, that's pretty good, right? And then number 12 is John Morant because we didn't mention about the most exciting teams, but like that Grizzlies, we're all like, we all believe in this team. We all like, no, this team should be good. Like this team should be good. So that was and my number 11 is Ant-Man.
Ooh. Ooh.
Like, is Ant-Man really a top 10 player? Yes, but I'm gonna do a quick. My top 10, my 10th guy is a guy who. There's the reason why I put him 10th. I told you before I had to put this guy 10th just because of certain accolades, he has to be 10th. Now, the guy that you had mentioned, that I mentioned before, I want to talk to you about this guy, Jimmy Buckets. This guy's gonna be the hottest commodity going into free agency in a while because mind you, he's getting older. So I'm not too
Yeah.
sure I really want to pay him for keeping an eye on it. Don't want to pay him, but I think to myself, imagine that attitude, that grit. He still works out. He works very heavy. He works out very hard on his body. So the man is working to be a good player for the next 3-4 years. If you're the Pacers, imagine having a Jimmy Butler on your team. If you're heck, let's go Atlanta Hawks. Like if you're a team that's just missing a guy, imagine having a Jimmy Butler on the
Well,
squad,
Hawks needs more than Butler, but Butler definitely helps and puts him in position to get other guys. 100%.
right? So, and I'm not too sure if Miami's going to want to pay Jimmy. I think they're
Riley is stingy. We know this. He's kind of stingy with the bread.
and then he's mad at Jimmy because Jimmy hasn't played the past. Jimmy's playoffs. Jimmy's like, oh, I'm gonna work hard in the playoffs. Like Jimmy, and then he hasn't been the most healthiest really since the bubble. Even though they made it to the finals twice. If you know, in the Eastern Conference, since the Raptors made it to the finals, it's been Miami, Boston, Miami,
Milwaukee.
Boston. Oh yeah,
Miami,
sorry,
Boston.
Milwaukee. Yeah, Milwaukee, then Miami, Boston. So like it's been them that mostly them besides the Milwaukee stand.
You heard how he said no Philly? I digress. I
Go Bob,
digress.
man. And like all the teams that we named, so Philly, Boston, Milwaukee, Toronto, have all been like top in the East the past like 7-8 years, and Philly's done nothing. You know, but yeah. So I think Jimmy's gonna be very. You know, a team that would want Jimmy Butler is your one of your teams, the Houston Rockets. They would want him. They
Splash. And it's hot over there.
a Jimmy in Houston. How would that be for you? They probably he couldn't work. Him and Udoka. Imagine that. That's
That's
intensity.
problems.
That's intensity.
That's intense.
That's
Like they're on the
intensity.
same page, but there are gonna be disagreements. But as long as they have that, grown man, like
Yeah, and he'll be with Houston, and like they
because
probably would have. It has to be like a sign and trade.
it's like let's say him going to San Antonio, for example, right? How is he gonna deal with Pop?
I think he would love. I think everyone loves Pop. From what you hear,
Because the thing is like, okay, I get it. You go to Houston, Udoka doesn't have any rings.
yeah,
Pop has a legacy, so it's like
yeah,
listen
I
to
got
the young
disrespect.
blood, like yeah,
Yeah.
Pop, you already know.
So I just think it's interesting with Jimmy Butler. Okay, you're now we're at the top 10. The top 10 players in the NBA this season. We're just gonna go back to back. We're not gonna go 10 to you go your 10, you explain why, I explain my 10 why, then we just kind of keep going.
Okay.
So you wanna go first?
Player.
Yeah, go ahead.
My 10th player is Tyler Hero.
He deserves it. He
I'm
deserves it.
joking. He's not 10th, but he's honorable mention in the 25 players. I don't care. Tyler Hero could. But 10th, some people say we look alike. Well, not some people, only this brother on the other side say we look alike. And he has a unibrow. So AD,
I
10.
don't, I don't think like Anthony Davis.
Okay. Thank
no,
you for that. Number 9.
no. I'll go my 10.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, that's fine, it's fine. So I picked number 10 was Jalen Brown.
Okay.
Now, why did I pick him? I think I've been saying it from time. The reason I picked Jalen Brown my number 10, the man won Eastern Conference Finals MVP, and then he won Finals MVP. He was the best player on the Boston Celtics from beginning to end. The man should be top 10. Okay, I'm sorry, like it's just I don't make the rules, man, but I made this rule. So like he just should be. Why does Jason Tatum and he's a really good player, gets so much love, but we all agree that Jalen Brown is just as much a part of it as anyone else.
I hate
Um,
Jalen Brown.
I'll say this, and people don't like Jalen Brown for multiple reasons. My question to you is, Richard Jefferson said this. Tell me what you think. If Donovan Mitchell replaced Jason Tatum, that team still winning a title?
No,
I don't think so either. I
no.
think it's a good team, but I think Jalen
It's a
Brown
good
is,
team, but it's you're giving up height on the defensive end length. You're giving up
yeah,
more rebounding, which is possessions. You're giving up chemistry too, right? You got to be
yeah,
playing together. So there's a lot of things that are not on the stat sheet where it's like, oh, you scored, but it's like you gotta look at chemistry. You gotta look at
yeah.
how to play. You gotta
There's
look
so
at the
much.
possessions, the rebound. Like
There's so
so,
much.
I don't think they would. They're still gonna win games in the regular season because you got a loaded squad. But
Yeah. Who's your nine?
my number nine is he's on the Sixers, right? So he's the big man. He's Joel Embiid. You know, he's number nine.
Um,
Shout out. What
Definitely
about
shout
you?
out. The thing is, we believe Joel Embiid can be a number one player. That's how in our last episode we said 76ers have the most pressure because we believe that you can be the number one player on a team. So pressure is pressure. My number nine is KD.
Okay, KD. Shout out to KD.
Uh, he's still the Reaper. He's still a man that at he can still be in the league for another 5 years. Honestly, especially if he's not like a number one option anymore. Like imagine him as your third or fourth option
I think
on a
default
squad.
how he's playing still is like he's still doing his thing. Like I'm not gonna lie.
Right, right. But I think the way that team should run is Devin Booker is number one option,
Yeah.
number two option is KD. But I just think the older KD gets, he's still so deadly. The man's mid range 3 point shot. It's KD still. Who's your eight?
My eighth pick is he's down in the Bay. He's light skinned. Best 3 point shooter of all time. Nowhere close. Curry. You know what I mean? You already know.
This guy
He's
has
got
all the
all the
old guys
string. He's
gone
got the float game. He's got the threes. He's one of the face of the league. Like
for
it's
sure,
obvious.
for sure, for sure, for sure. My eight is the guy you just mentioned, Joel Embiid.
Okay, so this is looking good. Okay.
Joel Embiid. There's nothing more. Joel, you have all the pressure. Okay, we're sorry. You want to be the MVP?
Sorry, not sorry.
This is the pressure. There's nothing more to say. Number seven.
Seven. Seven is right now at seven. He's a guy on the Minnesota Timberwolves. He's a guy. He's the guy. Ant-Man. Let's get it. Had a good playoff run. You know what I mean? I'm excited to see what they're gonna do this season, though. You know what I mean? With Randall, see if they can have some chemistry. But Ant-Man's gonna do his thing. Baby Jordan.
And that's what like I put Jalen Brown number 10, but ultimately Ant was my 11th, right? So Jalen Brown doesn't win one of those fucking MVPs. I'm probably picking Ant Man as my 10 best player. I probably change it. He'd probably be like nine, something like that.
Great,
I do
great.
believe he deserves it. My seventh, I've been going like back and forth with this person a lot, but I
Okay.
just have to put him there. I mind you, even before I go, like I said, for my list particularly, I thought about dominance. I thought, who I would fear in a game seven, um, who would most teams fear in a game seven, and who controls the game at such an elite level. So my number seven is Jason Tatum. I think
Just
he is a really good player. There's always constant arguments. How's the guy not top five? He's not top five. It could be because of his squad being so good.
mm-hmm.
But I just think Jason Tatum is a good player. But I just think the next six I'm going to name, if they're on the court, I'm like, man, this guy can give me 40 and it doesn't matter. It just doesn't
Yep.
matter.
Yep. Yep.
So I have a number seven. Who's your number six?
You said it. JT, Jason Tatum. See what I'm saying?
Like we can't force top five. Like, you know what I'm saying? We can't force it. We can't force top five.
Can't
He's
force it.
he's
I
he's
feel
good, but we can't force it. Um, that was number six, right?
yeah.
So my number six, I haven't said this guy's name, and I know you've been waiting for it because you said his name earlier. I haven't said his name yet. Mind you, I'll put him way higher, but am I just a homer? Potentially. But you know how much I love this man. LeBron Ramon James. He is my number six best player because at the end of the day, the man is 40. He's still putting up numbers that he put in when he was 23. And of course, defensively, he's not the same person. But why do we all still respect the Lakers stuff? Like why? Because of him. Like we still respect Lakers because of him. And I'm telling you, the way he's been playing, if he was 20, if he played the same way, don't change anything, play the same way, but he was 31, he'd be a top three player in the league right now.
100%.
So to me, we diss him because of his age, and I just want to do that. That's why LeBron is my number 6. Now we're in the nitty gritty, the top 5 players in the NBA. Who's your number 5?
My number 5 is the Slim Reaper. You know what I mean? Like, not much to say. You already covered him. You see what I'm saying? Can still score the ball, handle the rock crazy, has that walk through mid range, 3 level score. You know what I mean? When he's locking on defense, we'll give you some blocks. What can I say, man? What can I say?
Not my number 5, a guy you mentioned, so I won't go too crazy as well. Clearly, I like when it's good to know that the list is going to be similar because we already know the top guys. Like these are the top guys. It's Steph Curry is my number 5.
Okay. Okay.
He
Yeah,
best shooter we've ever seen in our lifetime.
yeah, yeah.
He's still a deadly man. One of the reasons why I put him 5 is because you never want to leave this. You can never leave him alone. You can't. To this day, you still can't leave him alone. Doesn't matter.
Not even close.
So that's why I think he's gonna age so well, in my opinion. Like I think he's gonna age well. Um, that's my number. That was my number 5. Top 4 guys, and we clearly as day. I was listening to a podcast and they're saying, "When's the next great American player?" Honestly,
Cooper.
it's Coop. Who's the next American who's going to win MVP? It sounds like it's gonna be Cooper
Yeah, yeah. If it's not
because
Ant-Man, it
It's Ant-Man, and then the next man that could be picked, but it could be a narrative on him is John Morant. Ant-Man, Jaw, and heck, let the New York Knicks do something. Jalen Brunson will get some noise.
yo, if the Knicks get to the finals,
Like but then it'd be like if he can make me number 1 in the East, he'll get talked about.
you're right. Let's see in the East because they want to give it to someone different. Not give it to Embiid or Joke or whatever. But
They're
okay,
not. They're definitely. Even though I swear the odds are Joker's still like number 1 in odds. That's crazy. Like he didn't get it. But yeah, sorry. So the top 4 is the international players, and it just has been for a while. I
top
mean,
four
yeah,
international, top 4 play international players, top 4. Okay, my fourth. He's from where we are living. He got robbed of MVP. I don't even want to say anything else, man. He got robbed MVP, and he's got a splashy, drippy swag name, whatever the kids say. Shea, 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 Shea.
I'm just gonna add on. He's my number 4 as well from Hamilton. Shout out to Hamilton, the Tie Cats.
Shout out
Shout
to
let's
that.
So that's who the number 4 guy is. Um,
The number
yeah,
3, guess we're gonna dive into it. Number 3, he's from Slovenia. Plays for the Mavericks, you know. He's a guy that has the ball in his hand a lot. You know, he can really ball. Or Luca Magic had a crazy run this past season. We'll see if they can repeat that run. I don't think so, but we'll see. And
they
yeah,
have a
that's
better squad now. They have a better squad. Luca's my number 3 too. We're going down the line. No, Luca is my number 3 as well. Luca Magic, what else does it say? Like, it's crazy when you get closer to the number 1. It's less things to say because it's like you see the game, you just watch the game. The man is dangerous, and like Luca's been dangerous since year 1.
he's been dangerous since he was killing Westbrook at 16.
Like Luca's dangerous, so he's just that guy. The only blemish in his game is you wish he shot free throws better.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
That's just the one blemish in his game. You wish he shot. But when you talk about last 5 minutes of the game, that man doesn't miss.
He's a guy. He's the man. He's a yeah, yeah.
He's definitely, yeah. He alone, I thought that they would have beat that team. I really thought they would beat that team. If he had well, Boston was just kind of mentally in a different state than everyone else. So that's why Boston won. They were just mentally in a different state. So yeah, I agree with Luca. Now I'm pretty. I don't want to. No, what? You go. Number two. I don't want to say anything.
My number two pick, best, second best player in the league. You see what I'm saying? Can I get a couple of bucks over there down in Milwaukee, man? Right? Can I get a couple of bucks? He's a freak of nature, looking like fucking a Greek god now with his arm kit, right? He gained the weight. He got better progressively. He worked on himself. Why I'm so proud of this brother right here, Giannis. Shout out to Giannis. Shout out to the Bucks. This guy really said, "I want to become the best player I can become, have the
Yep.
best player I can have," and he went out and he did it. So respect to Greek.
Um, this is where we're gonna disagree. It's not a hard disagree because at
It
the end of
is.
the
It
day,
is.
my number two is Jokic. And the reason why my number two is Jokic is because Jokic can do it all. Defensively, he's not the greatest.
Mm.
And I love Jokic. I think he's a really good player. Won three-time MVP, one of the better players in the world. I'll go to my number one, which and I'll let you talk more about Jokic. The reason why Giannis is my number one is because when I think about dominance, I just think he's the most dominant player in the league. And when he's healthy, I think he had his best regular season stats last year. Like Giannis has just been the man. He's been the man for a while, and I just want to give him his kudos. I think he's the best player in the league. I think he's had an unfortunate team unlucky because Middleton is just hurt. Middleton is barely going to be healthy this season. They really need to give Middleton until probably January to be Middleton again, even hopefully a little bit. And Dame wasn't good either. And he is the oldest lineup in the league. And he's carrying that. So Giannis is my number one. And your number one is Jokic, of course. So why is Jokic for you the number one player in the league?
Joker is my number one player in the league because he can shoot better than Greek. No, not just that, not just that, but
You can, though.
he
Yep,
can
it's true.
dominate better. Like he can dominate. He dominates the game. The thing that I love about Joker is that on this list, he's one of the guys with the higher IQs, basketball
Very
IQ,
much so.
right? So for him to impact the game based on I can run, me and you both can run and jump faster than Joker, but he's giving these guys buckets because of the IQ, right? Multiple MVP, right? Has a ring like Giannis, right? It wasn't like, oh, Giannis is way worse or Joker's way better. It wasn't like that. It was literally like neck and neck, right? It was neck and neck. They're in the same tier, the same boat. It's
Right.
just, you know what I mean? It's just I feel Joker. If I were to say who am I to start a team around right now, and I had to pick between Giannis or Joker, I'd pick Joker. That's all. And it's nothing against Giannis. It's just it's a hard choice. It's like I would have to sleep on it, discuss with my colleagues, the organization, whatever. But I'd ultimately pick Joker to go with the start franchise over Giannis right now. We're talking right now, right now. So
Which makes sense, right? I think overall, like
it's just me.
the last four guys we named are guys who like you're having a conference. You're sitting for hours discussing like, man, Shea does this though. Who's easier to build around? Well, Luka's the hardest one out of the four to truly
I
build
agree.
around.
I agree.
But Jokic and Giannis could be easy to build around because Giannis is unselfish. So is Jokic. So like, man,
Yes.
you can
Yeah.
bring guys on them and they'll be much better.
Shay's on
So
yeah, Shay's unselfish, but yeah, Joker's more
she's
unselfish.
unselfish as well. But I want Shea to average like 11
Seven
assists.
assists. Seven.
I want 11 assists. That squad is too talented. You have Chat, you have Williams, J Dub, you have like a bunch of guys. You should be. Then you have Alex Caruso. I want to see 11 assists easily. But yeah, so that was our list. That was the top 50 players in this NBA season. We both differ from number one, but at the end of the day, they're all the top players. We know who's been the best guys and who's been the most consistent guys, and it's clear who we all picked. Now we're gonna mention superstars, right? About who we felt were the superstars. The last thing we're gonna chat about. You had mentioned the superstars being the four guys: Giannis, KD, Stephen, and LeBron. And when we talk superstars, I'm talking overall, not just their game, but their global reach. I would say, if I'm being honest, I probably wouldn't put Giannis there yet. I think he's a funny guy and people like him. But we're talking about like people that your parents know. It's
What
just
would we
still the
say?
three guys.
Yeah, it's still two, three guys. Still LeBron, Curry, and who's the
And
third?
KD to me,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And then I think about KD. He may be a guy that may not be still known to parents. Young people may know who KD
yeah. I
is.
was about to say like I like when I'm going back. The two is really Curry and LeBron. Like
Really,
every
those two.
age group will know. Like
It's really those two. That's why I understand why the league, yes, the league is gone more international. And that's what happens. Like most leagues are international. The best soccer player are not from America. Even though it's an American league, they probably want an American, but their next great like hope is probably in Cooper Flag. It was gonna be John Moran. John Moran was about to get the most people know who John Moran is.
it
They
was,
do.
but
That stuff is it's ruined it. It's gonna be hard to put your name under that guy and be like, hey, like
yeah,
Gatorade.
like Nike still is messing with you. So thank God, still at
Right,
least you got that
right,
because they make the best signature shoes still. So hey,
right. So I think overall the league is still flourishing because you have so much talented guys. We're naming guys like Halliburton, Fox, Sabonis, all these mans,
you guys
like
are young guys still.
Bam, like yeah, there's so much talent that's in the league. So who knows what's to come of it. But yeah, that was it for the pod. Anything you wanted to chat about?
No, man, I think we covered the 50. We're good.
Perfect. That's our week. We did 2 episodes this week because NBA season is coming upon us. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll talk to you guys very soon. Peace.